Close your mouth, pay attention, let's get started. We're going to go through this, and then we will have time to work on our projects and stuff, okay? This is probably your last day you need to be working on the group project. So let's get it finished up today. Okay, question of the day. Groceries or restaurants? Where are Americans spending more money? What do you think? Do you think people spend more money at restaurants or grocery stores?
Have you seen the people in the United States?
Restaurants? Raise your hand if you think it's restaurants. Okay, raise your hand if you think it's groceries. Okay, what about for you, yourself and your family? Do you spend more money on restaurants?
Have you seen my family?
Groceries. We definitely spend a lot more on groceries at my house. Let's see what it says. Restaurants, actually.
Point proven.
People spend more money on restaurants, yes, because they don't know how to cook, they don't have time to cook, things like that. So that can make a big issue with your budget, that's for sure. So, the first step, what is it, Roy? You good? The first step to figuring out a monthly food budget, which was part of your roommate agreement for some of you, or the roommate budget, is to figure out how much you should be spending, and that depends by your household. But the USDA does have a guide for your budget. So, let's see what that looks like. Did you know the USDA put out a guide for how you should spend your food money?
I don't buy mine.
That's fair. So, let's say we have a regular household. We have 4 people. So we have a 12-year-old kid, and let's have another kid that's like 17. And then we have a dad who's like in his 30s.
How old's the kid?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Male age 12, female age 17, male age 36, and then, oops,
I think 40 might have been a better.
everything just disappeared. Hold on. I don't know what just happened.
Do my work.
It messed up the stuff I was doing.
Stop doing that, Nick.
Let's go back and do that again.
What about it? This one reminds me.
Let's say, we'll say 45 for the parents.
You never have a smile on your face.
Oh.
You know me so well.
Okay, let's see what our calculations say. So the estimation for this is about $200 a week on food. That's for a 12-year-old, 17-year-old, and 2 parents. Does that sound like a lot or a little?
Wait, for how much? A little.
It sounds like very little, right?
You must be starving then.
Let's see what it says. Add 20% for each single person, 10% for each 2 persons, 3 is 5. So it shows you all of its math that it does. Let's see if what this guy does. Cool, it's not available. But according to the government, you should be able to spend $200 a week for a family of 4 and feed your people. Now that is very hard, especially if you decide to eat out or if you're eating anything that is name brand. Okay? Or yes, any produce at all. So
Burger helper.
That's why I live down there.
let's look at our
My
expenses
mom's like, she can't cook.
for a similar family in this budget calculator. So if we have 2 adults and 2 children, let's say they make $75,000 a year overall. That's close to what Mr. Brunson and I make. It looks like they're spending about $629 a month on food. Guess how much Mr. Brunson and I spend, just the 2 of us, on food every month?
400 and something.
Right about $400. About $100 a week.
She said it the other day.
That's what you're saying the other day.
Sounds like a stalker.
So, you might want to consider, let's see, what if it was just one adult? What if it was just you? And let's say you only made $30,000. Says you could spend about $300 a month on food. Do you think you could live on $300 a month for food?
No.
No? That's no going out to eat.
No going out to eat?
No going out to eat. Lots of meal prepping or eating the same meals over and over. So it's eye-opening. You can't have cafe every day after you graduate high school. Except maybe Ella.
Makes it look worse than it is.
Okay, let's get focused. So, how do we save money at the supermarket? Who goes grocery shopping with their parent or has before?
Me.
It used to be my favorite thing to go grocery shopping with my mom. Have you ever looked at the budget for groceries with your parent?
Yes.
Does your parent have a budget for groceries?
No.
Some people don't. They just go into the store and they're like, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. I've definitely been that person before. So, but I've also been the person who said, I have $50. That's all I can spend for this week. Okay?
And you're not gonna eat.
For $50, I can eat. Okay, so let's look at some supermarket secrets. How do you save money at the grocery store? Roy, pay attention.
Supermarkets. It's hard to avoid these modern temples of convenience and consumerism. And like the fictitious temples from adventure stories, they are filled with pitfalls and booby traps designed to make you spend more than you planned.
As any good treasure hunter will tell you, you can never let your guard down.
There's nothing to fear here. It scares me.
But with a little preparation and discipline, you can safely swing past every metaphorical snake pit, rolling boulder, and alien spaceship.
Let's pretend that one didn't happen.
Okay.
From the moment you walk through the front door, your senses are getting played. Bright, colorful flowers, the smell of fresh baked bread, soft, comfortable music, all these things are designed to put you in a relaxed, suggestive state of mind so that you'll take your time and be more open-minded about what you came to buy.
If you're like most people, you probably start in the produce section, and that's no accident. Stores have found that when people stock their cart with healthy things early on, they're more likely to reward themselves with junk food later.
It may be tempting to grab some of those pre-chopped fruits and vegetables, but take a second to compare the price by weight. You could be paying 200 to 300% more to not have to wield the knife yourself.
Plus, they often have a shorter shelf life, and you're creating more packaging waste. That's why I chop my own vegetables 5 days a week.
Oh, and by the way, that mist that makes everything seem fresh and crisp, it's pretty much just there for show. Constantly spraying water on produce can increase the health risks of bacteria and make certain fruits and veggies rot faster.
It also makes some produce weigh just a bit more at checkout, so make sure you shake them out before you bag them.
As you walk the aisles,
Okay, so which of the following statements about produce is true? Raise your hand if you think it's true. First of all, pre-cut fruits and vegetables are cheaper than buying them whole. Raise your hand if you think it's true. No one, great job. Okay, number 2, buying whole cut produce is generally cheaper and lasts longer than, buying whole produce is generally cheaper and lasts longer than pre-cut packaged produce. Raise your hand if you think it's true. Raise your hand if you think it's false. Raise your hand if you didn't vote at all. Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous. Yes, that is true. Raise your hand if you think packaged produce lasts longer. No one. Good. As soon as you cut up that fruit, that vegetable, and put it in a plastic shield, guess what? It's lost all of its properties of being able to stay together for longer as a natural fruit. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going.
The aisles, remember to look up and down, not just side to side. Stores put their most expensive items at eye level, hoping you won't notice the cheaper alternatives above and below. And yes, that applies.
Have you ever seen a little kid in the grocery store? They go down the cereal aisle and they're like, Mommy, Mommy, I want this cereal. Guess what? It's right at their eye level, right? And the moms that are taller, they look at the cereal aisle, and what cereals are at their eye level?
Special K.
Special K. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Special K, all of the healthy cereals. With the Raisin Bran, stuff like that. That's what's at their eye level. They're playing tricks with your brain.
Applies to kid stuff too.
Excuse me, would you like a free sample?
Sure, I guess. Free samples are more about your emotions than your taste buds. They create a feeling of personal obligation, like you're already in too deep to back out. So, if you're gonna partake, be prepared to make a clean break and move on.
You're just gonna walk away? After everything we've been through?
Supermarkets don't just want you to buy expensive stuff. They want you to buy more stuff in general. Take this so-called bargain. Most people assume they have to purchase all 10 to get some perceived discount. But if you read the fine print, you'll usually find that the unit price is the same, no matter how many you buy.
It's also why shopping carts have been getting bigger over the years. Marketing tests showed that shoppers spend up to 40% more with a double-sized cart. Those super-sized carts also make it difficult to do a U-turn in a narrow aisle, so you're more likely to take the long way round. A longer path means more temptations, which is why stores will periodically rearrange the merchandise to keep even experienced shoppers searching.
Some people think that's why essentials like milk and eggs are always at the back of the store, but store managers insist on a more innocent reason. By law, these items can't be unrefrigerated for very long, and since the delivery trucks unload at the back, it makes sense to put the fridges there. I guess making shoppers walk the whole store is just a happy accident.
Okay, so I'm not even gonna worry about this. How can you avoid buying things just because you saw them and they caught your eye at the grocery store?
You make a list.
Make a list. Okay, stay strong on your convictions, Dalton.
Don't shop hungry.
Don't shop hungry, that's a good one.
Free snack.
Don't
Free
steal.
snack.
Oh.
Don't go to Costco just for the free samples because you might leave with just the foods from the free samples.
Of course.
I could just eat it.
What?
It takes.
Read the fine print. Oh, especially those like coupon signs where you see a bright yellow or a bright red discount, but it really says buy 10, get one free, not just buy one, get one free, and so you're gonna buy all 10 to get it, or you're not gonna save the amount you think you are. Let's keep going.
Once you finally found everything you need, there's one more trial to overcome. The check stand. This is where stores traditionally keep impulse purchases like candy and magazines and gum because they know that by now you're experiencing what psychologists call decision fatigue. We get tired of being sensible and weighing costs and benefits. It weighs us down and it makes us more open to suggestion. So it's best to not even look at that stuff.
Don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Mary, and don't look at it no matter what happens.
Okay, so they put candy, magazines, gum, all that stuff at the register to try and get you to get that on the way out, or get your kid to be like, oh, I want Skittles, I want M&Ms, I want one of those little prize ball things, right? I know you don't have a kid. Most of us in here don't have children. I'm just giving an example. We were all kids once, Dalton. I want to say, and I could be wrong, I'm actually going to look this up real quick. Do you know who started the checkout advertising for their product? Trying to remember who it was. I can't find it. If I remember correctly, it was a gum company. It was an advertising ploy that they started paying grocery stores or giving them incentives to put their product right by the checkout in hopes that impulse buyers would be like, oh, I need some gum, and grab it last minute, and it shot their sales up. So guess what? Everybody started doing it. So that's why the shelves are filled right by the checkout.
These strategies have been refined over decades to make shoppers spend more than they have to and buy more than they need. Unfortunately, people who buy more tend to consume more and waste more. It's kind of a lose-lose-lose situation.
But shopping for groceries and cooking at home is still cheaper and healthier than eating out all the time, which is a major reason why millennials are having trouble saving money. So, by all means, go to the supermarket. Just be prepared.
First off, and most importantly, make a list, even if you have to write it on a napkin in the parking lot. Don't go through those doors without it. Fewer choices you have to make in the store means less fatigue and less temptation.
If your store has them, use smaller carts to discourage overbuying. Although those hand baskets may not be a good idea, studies found that the physical act of lifting and carrying hand baskets made shoppers feel like they deserved junk food rewards. The brain's a funny thing, isn't it?
Bring headphones and listen to upbeat music. This will keep you fast and focused. And make sure you don't go grocery shopping hungry. That's just asking your reptile brain to take the driver's seat.
And if you still have trouble sticking to the plan, leave your credit cards at home and bring only what you want to spend in cash. Julia and I have been doing that for years, and it keeps temptation in check.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Oh, there we go. And that's not gonna pull out. Also, don't forget when you're grocery shopping to look at the unit price. How much does it cost per ounce? How much does it cost per pound? Okay? You can even do the math on your cell phone real quick if it doesn't tell you on the tag.
How do you do that?
Oh, gosh, I'm gonna skip out on that.
I can do it.
Okay, so you guys have the rest of the class period. Number 1, get that group project finished and turned in. Make sure everyone's name's on it and get it turned in, okay? And then make sure you have every other piece of work that you're missing turned in today as well.